This video is how to take off the headlight fairing, also known as the meter cover, on a Honda CB500F. The reason why you want to take it off is there's a option port under here that's already connected to a 7 amp breaker and also is after the ignition solenoid, so the power comes on after you turn the ignition on and turns off when you turn the ignition off. So it's really handy for connecting for example, a USB charger if you use your phone for nav, or heated grips, and you don't want to forget to turn them off, which would drain your battery when you kill the engine. So the first step is you have to take the headlight off of the motorcycle. So there's a pair of hex bolts here that you have to remove, and once those are off, then you can kind of just push forward and lift off. There's a couple of rubber grommets down here that just have the headlight sit in place. Also, you'll have to remove a pair of connectors that are under the right front fairing, right below the fuel tank. That's a little bit tricky, but once those are disconnected, you could pull the whole thing off and take it inside to work on. So the next step is you want to remove 6 of these, I'm not sure what to call them, fairing clips or panel clips, whatever they are. And to do that, you just want to push the middle button in until it clicks. There's 4, and then the 2 right below the instrument panel. Come on. 1, 2. Okay. And once those buttons are pushed in, you can just pull them right out. In fact, they're awfully loose. Sometimes they even just fall out. So I'll set them aside. Okay, now the next part's pretty tricky. There's a pair of screws basically right under here and here, and you can get in really hard to see. I wonder if I can even show you on here. I'll try to put a flashlight in there. Yeah. Well, I think you're just gonna have to take my word for it that they're there. So take a flashlight or something and try to find exactly where these screws are. I happen to know where they are, although without the light it's hard to see. So I'm going to pause this video while I take them out, but I'll show you where they are later. Okay, I've undone the screws. I've just let them kind of fall out, so they're under the fairing somewhere. We'll get them after we take the fairing off. So the first step, there's going to be a pair of small clips here and here. Let me show that to you again. Here and here. And if we just kind of pull the bottom down and the top one away, then it should come apart. There we go. And same thing here. Okay, so we see that we've got a clip here and a clip here. And I can hear that I already pulled these off at the same time, but you might have to pull this hook away also. There's one on both sides. There's a hook. Boy, it's hard to see. There's a hook right here. Anyway, those came out, but you may have to pull it out. Now the reason I unscrewed before I took this part off is because I found that gives a little bit of play in this top fairing that kind of gives on the clips. So you can see here there's 5 clips, and the first time I did it I broke the latch on 2 or 3 of them because I didn't know how to take it off. So again, I think the correct way is to first take off these pair of screws and then kind of rotate it out like this and pull up. So that should dislodge these clips here, and that will pull away. So now what we can do is, oh, see, there's one of the screws that I was able to get out. Okay. Now what we can do is just kind of pull up on these edges here and then push the whole thing forward. And then basically what's going on is there's a pair of hooks here and these posts. So first you want to pull away to get the posts off of this ridge and then push inward to disconnect these hooks. Okay, so now once we're inside here, there should be a connector right here, which I've already taken off. I've already used it, but this connector, it's basically it's got both of the connectors intact, but only one side is wired, so the other side is free for you to use. It requires MT090 waterproof crimp connectors, but once you have those, you can put those right into the empty connector and connect it up. So in my case, well, actually, let me go back for a second. Hopefully you can see this hole here. This hole here, which is right into the instrument panel, and the same on the other side, right here. Those are where those screws are going to be, which is hard to see. So you're going to need a flashlight or something to see it. So apparently both of these screws have already fallen out from back there, but they were just sitting there when I unscrewed it the first time. Okay, so back to the electrical. I've just put in this kind of junction box here. So here's the connector. I hope you can see that. So I had to buy these two crimp connectors to stick in here, but this part was already there. Thanks, Honda. So I put in a junction box so that I could add more things, which I'm going to do now. But at the moment I just have this USB phone charger because I use my phone as my nav. So I hope that's helpful. I really wish I'd had a video like this because I wouldn't have broken that part. But anyway, good luck.